Simon Scott Nelson, I'm CEO of Wellity Global, and I'm chair of the Institute Sales Professionals Mental Health and Wellbeing Committee, and I'm delighted to be a judge at the Great British Workplace Wellbeing Awards 2021. For me, wellbeing within an organisation is all about culture. It starts from the top down, and it is something that can be instilled for next to nothing. At Wellity Global, we work with companies in size from SMEs to some of the largest organisations in the world, both public and private sector. And we find that the best results are when someone has gone first. Going first with your story creates a safe space. Showing vulnerability is strength. And it creates that space where others can come forward to open up about their mental health and well-being. And opening up and creating that space, once people do that, anything can be applied, and then you could start to insert all sorts of well-being products and services. But without that culture being instilled in the first place, you could also waste a lot of money. What we do and what we champion is senior leaders creating an environment where we can get the best feedback from any training we do. That feedback is from someone saying, I thought it was just me. I thought it was just me that had those issues. I thought it was just me who was alone in my thinking. Now, for anyone to be the best version of themselves, they have to be in an environment where they can flourish. And that doesn't cost anything. So that's what wellbeing in the workplace means for me. I'm delighted to be a judge at the Great British Workplace Wellbeing Awards. And if you do want any more free resource or to contact us, do so at www.wellityglobal.com and contact any one of the team. Thank you.
So what can employers do to support workplace wellbeing? Well, firstly, provide education and training about the importance of good mental health and wellbeing so that people know how to spot the signs of concern when someone is struggling to cope. Secondly, within our teams, we can explore new ways of working that could improve wellbeing just by talking about setting boundaries and managing expectations, asking what can be done differently. Are the priorities clear? So giving everyone a say in how their team operates. And finally, quite simply, we need to make people feel safe talking about their mental health at work, and to know that asking for help is really a sign of courage and not failure. So embed this in your culture and enable leaders and line managers to take the lead in starting the conversations so that they can empower their teams to take action to prioritise their well-being.
Hi, I'm Rory, co-founder and CEO of 1 Year No Beer. I think with workplace well-being, the most important thing, as with understanding any change in any organisation or ourselves as individuals, is to start with awareness. Because ambivalence is the opposite, is the enemy of changing behaviour. So in order for us to get awareness, we need to start understanding, how is the well-being today? How are our staff? We use anonymous polls. We do them weekly or bi-weekly, depending on whether we're going through a turbulent time or not. Our staff members can then respond, giving a red, amber or green light, and with some feedback that helps us change. Following those feedback sessions, we immediately take action. These kind of things create a real awareness. And of course, it wouldn't be a well-being program if you weren't supporting people with their relationship with alcohol. Far too many companies have a very, very low, if at all, service for helping people with their relationship with alcohol. And that's where we're the experts.
There is a real seismic shift happening right now in the world of work, and I think everything we thought we knew about the workplace is up for challenge, debate and change. We have a unique opportunity, I think, to rewrite how we treat employees and how we provide a workplace focused on optimum performance through amazing physical and mental well-being. And I think the companies that take that seriously are going to be the most successful in the future. It's never been more important than ever to be a nice human and genuinely care about your team. So firstly, measurement and feedback is key. Until you know where you are, you can't really set the plan out to decide where you're going to get to. I think secondly, treating everybody as an individual is so important in the workplace, bringing your true self, your best self to work every day and creating a really inclusive environment. And then I think finally, you need to look at employee well-being as the whole picture, consider cultural, emotional, socioeconomic context in which all your employees operate. We've got a real opportunity here to drive the agenda and focus on creating a truly happy workplace. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Amanda Hammond and I'm the Wellbeing Lead at Fujitsu. So over the past year, much higher importance has been placed on wellbeing, which is fantastic, but I truly believe that wellbeing can't just be an add-on. It must be integrated throughout an organisation, embedded in its culture, leadership and people management. Wellbeing and inclusion go hand in hand. In an inclusive environment where everybody can be completely themselves at work, there'll be much higher levels of wellbeing amongst the workforce. I also think that the key thing is to understand your employees and what they need. The easiest way to do this is to ask them. Get some ideas, understand the key areas to focus your wellbeing support. For example, mental wellbeing is extremely broad. What areas should you drill down into? Look at information such as your employee assistance programme data, if you have one, absence data. Are there any trends that you can see? Or perhaps you have a problem with presenteeism, which is much more common now that many of us are working remotely. Find out how your employees are feeling and then develop a proactive wellbeing plan around this. If you have a wellbeing strategy that works for the people within your organisation, it's much more likely to be successful and to make an impact.
Hi, my name is Sabrina Robinson. I'm Wellbeing Lead at Essex County Council. In terms of supporting workplace wellbeing, it is key to have a dedicated resource in terms of subject matter expertise and for organisations to have a clear and robust wellbeing strategy. Wellbeing should not be an add-on, but instead integral to the way an organisation works, supports its employees to give their very best and achieves its organisational ambitions. Employees should be empowered to take positive steps to look after their wellbeing, both in and outside of work. And this is about wellbeing for all. No matter their level of engagement with wellbeing previously, employees should feel some connection to an organisation's wellbeing agenda. Employees should be taken on a journey with wellbeing so that first and foremost they recognise the importance of things like self-care and then also value this and see it as integral to functioning at their very best both within their role and in their personal lives. Having leaders on board is key to any organisation's wellbeing agenda, and in order to help create a positive wellbeing culture which is evidently valued by all. Along with this, line managers play an integral role in supporting employee wellbeing and should be upskilled accordingly. In relation to mental health specifically, we all recognise that many of the mental health impacts of the pandemic will take many months to emerge. This makes it crucial for organisations to plan longer term for the mental health support it provides. This can be by ways of developing a positive mental health culture whereby people can have open and honest conversations about mental health, reviewing support to ensure specific needs are met, and also thinking about how mental health will be supported within any new ways of working. Wellbeing is very personal, and so a key element of any wellbeing framework should be around collaboration and impact with your people. By this I mean ensuring initiatives are based on people's needs and also a robust research evidence, establishing regular feedback loops and sharing of best practice, improving data collection to learn more about your people and track trends to measure success, and also identify areas for improvement using a cycle.
Hi, my name is Sergey Regev. I'm the COO at Wellity Global. The most effective way that any business of any size can really introduce an effective framework for improving their employee health and wellbeing is to really think about their goals and what they want to achieve from the strategy that they want to implement. A lot of the time companies come to us talking about the improvements they want to make, but they're not really sure what those measurements look like and how to measure the outcomes and outputs of the things that they're doing. So essentially, for a framework to be successful and to make an impact, really every business needs to think about the goals that they're going to measure. So starting to think, if you're going to introduce wellbeing surveys, if you're going to introduce new training programs, starting to think about what you're actually looking for in that data, how you're going to measure if a training was effective, and the next steps you'll take based on those outcomes. Wellbeing is not a destination, it's very much a journey, so the framework has to represent that and has to be regularly reviewed to ensure that it's still fit for purpose, that it still has an impact, that it's still actually effective in what you want to achieve and meeting the goals that you've set. For a lot of businesses, this can be quite daunting and it can be quite unnerving to know the best place to start. So looking at the resources that are available, particularly on a strict and limited budget, is really, really important. So start by thinking what you already have in place, the things that you're already paying for. So this could include existing benefits, an EAP, the different resources, and thinking about the utilisation rates and about what that tells you about what your people really need and want in relation to their wellbeing. Of course, you have your workforce themselves. How regularly you're actually engaging with them and talking to them about the issues that affect their wellbeing both in the workplace and outside of the workplace, and what they want from you as their employer to help support them and help make improvements to their wellbeing. Ensuring that managers really actually know how to spread a message that they care. So moving forward, thinking about extra resources, you can access the Wellity Global website for more resources and free downloads, or follow us on social media for more advice and tips moving forward.